What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to this vlog, and today we're going to talk about Massive Waifu, aka Taki, who looks pretty damn sus, if you know what I mean. Jesus almighty, what has Netmarble done? But I gotta say, I'm really glad that they gave an accurate representation of what the character's aesthetics actually look like, because this is the spitting image of what she is in Soul Calibur 6, which is actually pretty damn awesome. She looks amazing, and I know for a lot of you guys, this was a character that many of us were pulling for. You know, some of us got Cassandra, who's absolutely insane, and I don't think you'd regret getting, but Taki is actually really great as well. There is some problems, though, with Taki right now, which is a bug that's going on with her where she's not actually connecting all of her skills sometimes. Sometimes her skills are actually missing the target, so the damage that you're going to see today isn't the optimal damage that she can actually do by any means, because she's going to be missing some of her attacks. However, even aside from that, right, the girl can still put out really great damage at a 3. She's actually quite strong, and a lot of people tell me that she doesn't have great survivability, which I'm going to prove you guys maybe a little bit incorrect as far as that is concerned. So Taki has an amazing leadership with a 50% increase of attack and the critical damage by 35%. Athena proved a long time ago that this leadership is just insane for EX characters, so we're going to be using her leadership in the run that we're going to be doing today. She also has, 30% increased damage on a critical hit, which means she hits like a truck. She has 15% PG rate. It's not 30%, but still really good. And she does have an increased attack by 25% for 8 seconds upon using an active skill, and this stacks with 2. So she gets an increased attack by 50%. She also increased critical damage by 50% when a Soul Calibur 6 fighter is on the team, which we will have. Whether you have the character as a striker or just on the team itself, you're going to get this extra critical damage by 50%. And the PvP exclusive removes buffs from the target's active skills upon landing a critical hit, which is OP for PvP. She's actually quite OP in Dream Match as well. For any of you that has been playing in Dream Match, you will find Taki there all over the place. In fact, her and Cassandra are just everywhere. It seems like everybody's using those girls, and for good reason. Super fast, lots of range, lingering hits on their skills. They're just really hard to deal with. But anyways, immune to stun, freeze, and fear, increased attack by 25%, and decreased damage received by 80% for 5 seconds when tagging in. Now, we're not going to be taking advantage of the decreased damage received by 80% because we're not going to be tagging in. However, this is really insane for her survivability. Getting a decreased damage received by 80% when you're tagging in. So if you're using team play, whenever game mode you're playing in, like say Demo Space or even Guild Raid, whatever, whenever you tag in, you get that decreased damage received by 80%. That is very good for survivability, especially the fact that she's an attack type fighter. She needs all the survivability that she can. And then she also has the damage immunity for 5 seconds when HP is 35% or less. And this is on a 9-second cooldown, so every other 4 seconds, this immunity will be up when you get down to this HP threshold. The thing that people need to remember whenever they're playing with these characters, especially Taki, because Taki doesn't have a critical hit shield like Cassandra. Cassandra has a little bit better survivability because of that, but Taki does have really great survivability. You can easily keep her alive, guys, in multiple game modes as long as you just remember to guard, right? Or even use a good healing striker or even a decreased damage received striker. But you will see in the run that we're going to do against Nightmare Geese, even though she's not immune to darkness, the girl can stay alive no problem because of the Soul Calibur passive with the recover 15% HP heal whenever you guard. As long as you remember to guard, you'll always get that heal, you'll always remain above this 35% HP threshold, and her immunity will almost always kick in. And the cool thing about what we're going to be doing today is we're not going to be using her 3PG. I do have a selector and I can pick that 3PG, but I'm still on the outs on what I'm going to do on this account as far as whether I'm going to pull more for Takis or whether I'm going to go for the set cards. I don't really know yet. I'm actually leaning kind of towards A5 Taki, but I'm going to want that 3PG for the free version of Ivy because it's looking like we're going to be able to get her for A5 completely for free. Now, we'll see what happens in a couple days, but there are going to be a few towers that's going to be coming to the game, guys, and more than likely, the extra memories that we need to A5, the free version of Ivy, will be in there. And if that's the case, I'm really going to want that 3PG for her. She is very strong, as we'll talk about in a later video. But yeah, and that's 9,000 rubies to go to pity, so I got to see how this plays out. But anyways, back to Taki. Taki's first skill, guys, enters Fury State. This here doesn't show up right now. That's one of the bugs that she has. It doesn't show up at all. You get the increased attack by 80%. So I don't even know if the deal physical damage equal to 200% of attack to every time the target lands a skill is working, because, you know, the skill has to land, guys. She misses some of her attacks. So I don't think we're getting this. I think a lot of times we're missing out on this and we're not getting this extra damage. I could be wrong. Tell me in the comments if I am, but I don't think we're getting this a lot of the time. So she's losing a lot of damage, guys. Physical damage equal to 200% of attack is a lot, right? And if we're losing that, that's a lot of damage that's being lost on her. And then she also has to reset finisher skill by 12 seconds. This really makes her insane for time attack and really for any game where you're going to use your finishers, guys. This is nuts, especially if you have her 3 PG. I mean, you can just sit there and do that damn thing over and over and over. It's just crazy. Stall the timers and really add to your damage. And then she deals physical damage equal to 250% attack every 0.2 seconds per 1 second upon landing a skill, right? And the third skill gives her damage immunity, gives her a critical rate buff by 30% for 8 seconds, gives her hyper armor for 4 seconds. It's an interrupt skill. And then her default, which actually increases her finish skill and active skill damage by 200% for 10 seconds upon landing a skill. So just like Cassandra, guys, it's very, very important to always do her default, because you'll also get the increased target damage received by 55% for 10 seconds upon landing a skill. You always want to do this before you go into her EX core or before you go into using your awakened skill and start spamming. That way you get all this extra damage. And this is an interrupt skill, which actually you guys will see comes in pretty damn handy. She actually becomes quite nutty. But whenever you take the girl to A5, that's when you're going to see some major insanity. I can't even show it here. We'll have to go to the codex. Give me a second, guys. Let me jump into the codex. But whenever the girl's at A5, that's when some sun starts shining down on her, because whenever she unlocks Soul Charge here, then all these skills get these big, big buffs. Their attack goes up by 20 more percent. We get an extra more physical damage here, right? We get an extra 5% critical rate. And if you had that thing, and we get increased target damage by 55%, I mean, it's really, really nice, guys. So whenever you have her at A5, just like Haramaru, that's when she really, really shines. And that's when her damage just absolutely skyrockets. That's another reason why I want to take it to A5, you know, just because, one, she's massive waifu, she's absolutely beautiful. I mean, how could you not love this? But I really want to make her as strong as possible. But again, with the IV3 PG and knowing that I need 9,000 rubies to make sure I go to the pity to get that 3 PG, because, I mean, hopefully the 3 PG will be in the next upcoming towers, but I just don't know, right? If it is, that will be insane, and I can actually maybe go for A5 Taki, but we'll see. But all we're going to do, guys, so we're just going to do a complete solo against Guild Raid. Just use this team right here where we have Taki and then we have Cassandra as a striker. And the card set that we're going to be using on the girls, we're just going to use the Rugas set, no 3PG, and then these two cards here. This one here for some critical damage. This one here, I believe, for some critical rate. Yeah, critical rate, actually critical rate and critical damage, right? Really two good cards that you can get completely for free. Remember, this is a free-to-play account, and I only have 3 stones on the girl, all right? So keep that in mind also. I don't have any extra stones on her. I don't have anything in her core unlocked, you know, in her EX core. I haven't, you know, leveled up any of her attack, which would actually make her stronger, and her penetration, if I leveled up these skills, would actually make her a lot stronger. And really for Taki, guys, you want to level up her default for sure, and you want to level up her first and second skill. The third skill, not so much, but the first and second, you definitely want to be powering up, and then obviously for CP, you want to go with all of these. And she will represent, my friends. She is freaking insane. So I'll pull up the run for you guys right now, and you can check this out. Here we go. Let's go. All right. Okay, guys, so watch this. This is pretty damn nutties, okay? Remember, I don't have no, 3PG on her, nothing like that yet. I'm gonna, now there I got hit, I should have guarded, right? And this is what you have to remember when you play with Taki. Now, this is another thing to keep in mind in the run that you're watching is, one, I just tried this one time, so I haven't really worked out a set rotation. But two, I'm doing this on a whim, which really shows how good her survivability is. I mean, against Geese, guys, not being immune to darkness can be really tricky sometimes, especially when you're doing a solo. A lot of times we have to run away and get away from Geese, but we don't have to do that with Taki. We can look, guys, I'm taking a lot of damage. I can literally face tank old guy, get at my heals, right? And I am kind of stalling, I am kind of waiting around, right? And just guard and guard and guard, right? and then do some attack. Now we're losing a lot of damage because of this, and if I was doing a team setup where I was running with an actual team, where we were applying certain dots and all that, it would be a different story. But you really want her 3PG if you're going to be doing that. It's going to make your life a whole lot easier. If you don't have her 3PG, then it's going to be very tough. And honestly, the fact that she can really come in here and do a solo and stay alive by just pretty much face tanking and guarding is pretty insane. Right, there's that heal again when you guard, and then once that hyper armor is ready to go, I just hit the hyper armor 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Right, 3, 2, 1, or 3, 1, 2. I'm sorry, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then do the default. Now I'm gonna guard, boom. And that's what you always have to remember with her, guys. And once her default's ready to go ahead and use that damn thing. Use that default, stall that timer, so it's going to help you get even more damage. And remember, this is on a free-to-play account. My fame system is only at level 10. It's not jacked up or anything like that. And yet, she broke the meter on Geese. We don't have any of the right dots. We don't have chill. We don't have shock. And this A3 character with 3 stones on her, right? Granted, OP Rugal set, is doing pretty well. Now, I have to say, aesthetically, guys, whenever she goes into her default, I just love all the diagrams all over her. Man, look at that. That looks nice, and it actually shows the accents of her body as well, which is actually a nice little touch. And here's what's nice about the interrupt skill, right? Whether you can just use that damn default the moment it is ready to go whenever you're in some awkward positions, which is actually really, really nice. It makes your life a whole lot easier, right? I mean, if I really wanted to, I could just sit and guard and just get healed up completely. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and guard. I'm going to attack with my hyper armor. I'm going to guard, get a little bit of a heal, and we're just staying above that 35% HP threshold. We're not going to die, guys. She's got 5 seconds of immunity. During that 5 seconds of immunity, we can easily get a heal if we have to do so. But as you'll notice in this run, I don't ever need to do that. It's honestly quite astounding how good the character actually is. And in PvP, she is nuts. Like, nuts. I know some players don't want to hear that, but even aside from that, guys, damage-wise, it's pretty freaking insane, right? I mean, look at the damage the girl put out. She put out 4 billion, even though it's just a complete solo. We're sitting there stalling, guarding a lot of the times. We're not attacking, which means we're not doing any damage, and she's bugged right now. This is honestly a pretty wild score for a character against Nightmare Geese, considering everything that's going against her. So I'm very pleased with Taki, man. She is actually quite awesome, man. 4 billion? That's pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good. But I mean, guys, I have a friend that has her at A5, and he did 80 billion against Rugal solo. 80 billion doing a complete solo at A5. That's the difference between having her at A5 and A3. Now, granted, his account's got a higher fame system, a level up codex, but still, it is a huge, huge difference, and that's really where she shines. I feel like, you know, you don't need to take her to A5, guys, for you to enjoy her, for her to be a really good character. She's more than strong enough at A3, even at A1 for a brand new player. She's going to carry you and just destroy content like crazy, because just like all these other new EX characters, that physical damage actually acts as dot. It actually does do damage to characters over time, which is actually pretty damn awesome for game modes like RHD, for really most game modes. And even against Haramaru, guys, which I didn't do a run, she'll do really well. As long as you remember to, you know, dodge, move to the side, guard, get a heal, dodge, attack, and move to the side and just try to keep getting them heals from them guards, she can actually do really, really well if properly played, man. I gotta say, guys, I'm loving Taki. I love her animations. I love her skill set, her move sets. I think they're absolutely lovely, as well as she is just lovely herself. And every time I look at her, I want to take her to A5 because, I mean, she's just one of those characters that I just think looks absolutely lovely. So guys, let me know what you think about Taki, and I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. JT+7 time. The link is in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See everybody.